Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for coming to UST today. And for this session, it is finance. Let me tell you a little bit about our plan today. We're going to give you some information about the program, and then we have our student Kaho. Okay, Kaho is in year 4 right now. He knows a lot about our program. And we have alumni Andy. Andy will give a little bit of idea about the program and about job prospect. And Andy now is in HSBC. Let's start. So this is our, we call it UG team for our department. So I will be the coordinator of the program, and we have Professor Lin, and we have Mickey. Mickey is the manager of the program. So Mickey and our team, we organize a lot of activities for our students year round. And we also, of course, have Macy. Okay, so what is finance? Finance is a subject that tells us how to allocate money properly. Okay, how to allocate money properly. So to allocate money properly, we have to know the characteristic of each kind of asset class. For example, what is stock, what is bonds, and how to put money in the right place, and how to compute the value of those assets. So it's a very important decision to make. And so as for our curriculum, we are pretty broad. Our students will learn a lot about business, okay, as well as finance. Okay, so that is a finance curriculum. So we let students learn how to compute the value of assets, how to invest properly, and how to understand so some securities that a little bit more complicated, such as stock options and futures, and also try to understand how to price those kind of securities. And as well as risk management, right? So we have to know how to manage risk well, make sure that our portfolio will perform well. And right now, everyone knows that we have to make sure that our students perform very well in a new environment with the development of AI. Now, we cannot avoid the situation that the job function that we do or the thing that we learn have to be related to AI and how to apply AI in finance industry. So I think that's why in our curriculum we try to encourage our students to learn more about programming and data analytics. Okay, so and you can see that there are many kind of subject that sounds a lot of sound very interesting. For example, let me give a try on this, right? ESG. Now, ESG is one of the main issue, right? Sustainable finance, green finance, and Hong Kong government want to promote this kind of development in Hong Kong. We want to be top 2 financial center very soon. I hope we can do that. So what else we see here? Merger acquisition, right? So when the company want to buy another company, how to price the target and how to structure the deal. For example, are we going to pay the other firm using cash, or are we going to using some shares to pay the other firm? So we have to learn all those. So I think the topics look very interesting. These are the number of students in our programs. I think the key thing that we want to tell you is that, as you can see from here, right? What does it mean here? Here means we have 363 students who declare major in finance. Okay. As their first major, but those students, 363 students, they also declare additional major. Okay, so the popular one will be information system and accounting. The key thing here is that at UST, our program is quite flexible. If students have more than one kind of interest, for example, you think finance is good, but you also like other subjects, so you can have choice to learn more than one major. Okay, and as you can see here, it could be any combination in business school. And of course, if you want to declare additional major outside business school, we can also let you do it if you meet certain criteria. Okay, so that is the information we want to show you here. And actually, if you join other major, right? So at the end, if you choose other major and you change your mind later, you want to also study finance. At UST, we also allow you to do that, right? So here, students who choose other major, right? They want to learn finance. So we have 135 of them, and then they say, okay, they want finance as additional major. So that's why we have computer science student declare finance major. We have math department student declare finance major. So we are pretty flexible at UST. And I think that is pretty important in this environment that we have right now. With the AI, there's a lot of change in the industry. So students have to kind of hedge, study more than one kind of subject and have to learn many different things so that when you experience any kind of change in the working environment, you can adapt easily. Okay, so I think that is a key message. So a lot of our students go for exchange. You can see that at UST we really want our students to have experience outside Hong Kong as well. So and I think we now have more than 150 exchange partners. Okay, so coming to UST, not only that you can have a very international environment. We have a lot of international students on campus, and you can also experience studying abroad. We want to support students to do that. And talking about international experience, actually, students also go to compete for maybe case competition abroad as well. And then join some other activity outside the normal study pathway. So and university have certain scholarships to support students to do that. So okay, so this is what Miki and her team do. We organize a lot of activities for our students throughout the year. I think. In each year, our team organizes at least 50 extracurricular activities. So the activity could be matching new students with the senior student, that senior student can guide you. Okay, for example, senior student can tell you which subject is easier or which subject is interesting. Which subject is more useful for certain careers, so those senior students can guide younger students. And apart from that, right, we also invite the professional from the industry to come back, okay, to talk to our students and give advice to our students. So in terms of advice and career planning, I think we are very good at that. That is our strength. And I think we also don't want our students to be too stressed out. So our team organize a lot of fun activities for students as well. For school and our department, we want to encourage students to collaborate with each other. Help each other. So that's why we create student speaker series. So basically, senior student in year 4, when they already have a lot of experience in the university and also in the workplace, they will volunteer to give a workshop to younger students. So the workshop could be how to pass an interview, right? So how to prepare your resume, talk about the industry that he or she know very well. So that will be a student speaker series. I think the objective is more about community building. We want our students to help each other. And I think so far we are doing on that. Okay, so and this is separate from student workshop series. This one is like we at the university level. We want our students to be well-rounded. So we give them training outside the normal academic setting. So we give them all those supports. Okay, so we have a lot of activities. For this one, right? For example, I think 2 weeks ago we invite alumni to come back to give a talk about the industry, and then our students and alumni can have networking section and talk to each other. The alumni at the same time can get updated information from current students, and students can learn from alumni. So we really want to create more network in the industry. So this is the kind of jobs that I got last year. Okay, this statistic include only class of 2025. Okay, so we don't really include anything before that. Okay, so this is for only 2025. Our students who graduated get this kind of position. Most of them will work in finance industry. Okay, so because of the subject that they learn, right? So naturally, they will find a job in finance industry. And I think Andy can talk a little bit about job path. And for some students, they go for master's study, okay, after graduation. This is the way to get into our program. There are mainly two ways, right? So one way is to get directly from high school. If you are in high school right now, you can apply directly to be admitted to finance. Or you can join the business school first without a major, and you choose major later. Okay, so I think you have 2 years to decide what should be your major. Okay, so if you have any question, please feel free to start to use the QR code. You see that QR code. Once you get into that link, you can type your question, and later some of us will select the questions and answer your questions one by one. Okay, so at this point, if you have questions, please type your question through that QR code. I think that's it for my part. Next, I want to pass the time to Andy.
So hi guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time with me. So quick introduction of myself again. I'm Andy. I'm in class of 2024. I started in a business school, and then I chose finance as a major and information system as my second major. So yeah, it's a good opportunity for me to be here and to share about my wrap up over these 4 to 5 years in HKUST. So maybe let me share to you how much I've changed throughout this HKUST journey. And by illustrating that, I'll first show you the before and after photos. So this is me before. Exactly 5 years ago, in my secondary 6 student, secondary 6, yes, I was taking in my final days. Of course, I look less stressed out, better skin tone, better skin conditions. Maybe I look more happier. But what's more, I think I look more confident, more certain about what I wanted to do. And what has led me through all these changes? First, campus life. I've had a very fun campus life. I joined the university debating team. It was where I learned how to speak in front of everyone. And it was a nice and very united community where I get a lot of chance to work with everyone from different backgrounds and learn to defeat the opponents. And other than that, I also joined a lot of student halls and societies. And in student halls, it was also again a very firm mini communities where we can have a lot of late night chats. We can share a lot of little stuffs about our daily lives. And in societies, I'm a member of the sub-community where I help to organize a lot of student activities. And here, I met a lot of lifelong friends who are still connecting and giving me a lot of advice in career and personal lives, and helping out each other's. So, UST maybe sounds like a university of stress tension, but there's definitely not only about academics, but also your personal growth. And the second aspect of my growth would be definitely my career. Starting off as a student, knowing nothing about the career market, knowing nothing about what I can choose, what I'm good at, at UST, I got a lot of resources to find out my path. I actually started at Marriott International in hospitality group in my year 2 study. So at that time, I had to pick my major. So I just go through the website, our job board, trying to look through what are the available jobs in the market, and I just apply for it. So it was a very random choice. But then, since UST alumni is all over other industries, I met a few finance and QFin alumni in that program, and they told me and sort of guided me into the banking industry. And it was there I started my second internship at HSBC. At that time, I was doing the strategic planning and stress testing team. It was a team where I get a lot of chance to know about the capital structure of the bank and to project the profit and losses over the year. It was quite fun. It was where I learned how a bank runs, how a bank operates in sort of all different business lines, and I have a basic ideas about what's capital, what's balance sheets. And then I started to get more advice and find out that probably I may suit the corporate treasury team. So that's why I moved into Bank of America in my year 3 studies as a summer analyst. And then I learned about how banks run their core funding positions and how they manage their balance sheets. So throughout this job career hunting process, I will grow from a person who knows nothing about the markets. And then I get a lot of help from alumni, from UST, from events that Mickey organizes. And as Professor Akishai mentioned, those industry insight events, those alumni connection programs. I get a lot of guidance. Especially in UST, we value a lot on career growth. So we even have a career center where you can seek for opportunities, advice, and you can actually develop your aspiration over there. So there's a lot of resources at UST that help me find my aspirations. And the third part would be my academic growth. So a lot of people may wonder, is the finance course really useful for your career? And my answer is definitely yes. Though there's no such course in finance program about treasury, what treasury does, what is the capital of the bank, but there's indeed a lot of interconnection between different courses that lead me through the treasury program. So say the finance 4503, it was about how bank works, and it tells the moral hazard of banks and why there's a need for capital. And there's a lot of other courses that's very useful, say the fixed income courses. Though I'm not investing in fixed income directly, my bank runs an entire balance sheet which is based on the interest rate products and interest rate risk. So these courses helps me a lot. And apart from that, I think UST offer more than just academics. So say if you want to become an entrepreneurship, there is a lot of entrepreneurship resources that you can leverage on. And for me, I tried on a research program which is called Europe, the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Project. So even even you're not very into a career development that you wanted to pursue in academic research, there's still a lot at USD where you can join it and you can figure out whether you are such a research person. For me, after my trial, I figured I'm not, so I quit it. Yeah. So to conclude, what brings me from a little boy to where I am right now? USD helped me in 3 aspects. So first, I passions. Throughout all the resources and networks of USD, I'm able to figure out what I wanted to do right now. And the second aspect would be my connections. So as mentioned, there are a lot of outside course activities where I can meet a lot of different friends, like-minded, and also I can build connection with different professors, which is all lifelong. They will constantly giving you supports and advice on your career when you are sort of struggling on it. And third part would be my personal growth. So USD definitely has a lot of coursework, and compared to other university, my perspective is there is some sort of academic stress where you have to compete with your peers. But throughout all this stress, you'll be able to learn how to manage your mindsets well. You'll be well prepared for the workplace, every challenges in your new life. So yeah, that's how I found HSBC, found USD is such a place. It's not something about academics, it's also about your well-rounded growth. Yep, so that's it. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. Can you guys? Okay, hi everyone. Hi, I am Kaho, and I am currently a Year 4 student studying at Information Systems and Finance major. And so today's my sharing will be more focused on the academics and internship experiences I had at HKUST. As Professor Chai has already covered most of the curriculum, and Andy has covered some of the graduate experiences as a finance graduate. And so, who am I? I am a 2021 HKDSE year, so I took the HKDSE in 2021. And this picture you can see, if you guys remember, in 2021, what happened was that there was the pandemic. And so everybody was regulated, and it's mandatory to wear a mask, right? So basically we had to wear a mask when we take the exam. So it was quite a challenging experience, as you can't really get enough oxygen to think. And right now, as I mentioned, I'm a BBA major student, and these 2 pictures are, the first one is the one on the right. Do you guys know, have you guys toured around HKUST yet? Actually, this is where we call seafront, which is where the halls, where the dormitories are located. And there's a very beautiful seaside view. And a lot of us students who actually stayed a semester or a year at dormitory, we would hang out with our friends along the seaside and have chats, play games, just hang out and have fun. And the right one is actually one of the many activities that HKUST holds. This one is a chess competition that I joined 2 years ago, which I was very lucky enough to have gotten the second runner-up place, and so this is one of the photos. And okay, so Professor Ekachai has already covered what finance is. Is it about stock trading? Or is it about making money using money? So a lot of people say if you have a lot of money, you can make even more money using finance. Or is it this? Does anyone know what this is? This one is the finance bro vest. Like a joke that people make, that people sit around in offices, finance bros sit around in offices, wearing this vest that everybody wears. I don't really know why, but it's like a joke. And so what finance actually is the system or study of creating, monitoring, and managing money. So it can be done in an individual level. So for example, for yourself, do you manage your own finance? For example, students, if you have some pocket money, how do you plan on using this pocket money? Do you know your expenses? Do you know how much you earn every week? So this is one of the individual finances for students. There's also a finance for banks. So as Andy mentioned, banks do a lot of planning with how their depositor deposit their money and how to use this money. And also, the government also plans with finance. For example, the budget, how they use money. And so finance is actually on different levels, including your own level. So I think finance is not only something that you think about when you go into a bank or something. It's actually applicable to your own daily life. And stuff we learned, I think Professor Gachai has covered some basic accounting knowledge, stocks pricing, bonds pricing, financial derivatives, and much more. And so I'll be focusing more on this part, which is my study abroad experiences at Humboldt University zu Berlin. So it's in Berlin last year. And so this one is the entrance, the main entrance of the university. And this is the dormitory. I think the biggest difference between studying abroad and studying in Hong Kong is the living style. So I'll use my experience in Berlin, as in Europe compared to Asia. As you can see from this picture, you can see how many stories high are these dormitories. Can you guys count it? 3, right. Actually, this is not only applicable to dormitories in Berlin. All housing in Berlin are limited to mostly 3 stories high. It's like a government mandate. So it's very different from Hong Kong, right? Everybody's living in skyscrapers. It's 10, 20 stories high. Actually, I think, I guess the reason for this is it's because perhaps there is some regulations on environmental concerns, because actually if we build a lot of high, very tall buildings, it actually blocks a lot of the ventilations and stuff. I guess that's one of the reasons. And so another thing I would talk about is how finance is taught differently in Asia and in Europe. So because I actually took a little bit of finance courses in Berlin. And so the first thing is the market focus. The market focus in Europe is basically, I mean, it's very intuitive. It's the Central Bank of Europe and also the National Bank of Germany that we will be focusing all our cases and all the examinations on. This is very different from the Hong Kong market focus, which is more based on the US, as the Hong Kong dollar is actually pegged against the US. So a lot of different policies, for example, interest rates, these fiscal policy and monetary policy are mostly related to the US market. However, in Berlin, when we were taught, it's more independent. It's more focused on how Germany is doing, and so plus the government of Germany will do a bit of different tweaks and changes to it. So the approach to finance is actually in some way different. And quantitative. So you guys have heard about UST being stress and tension, right? There's a lot of very hard academic classes in UST compared to other classes in universities in Hong Kong. However, I would say the classes in Germany is in one way more difficult than the classes in Hong Kong in terms of the quantitative aspect. I'll give you an example. So if you were to be a finance major student at HKUST, the math courses you will be taking are business math, simple derivatives, and a little bit of integration. And so the finance courses in UST, it's mostly algebra. Algebra being arithmetic, it's just simple addition, minus, multiplication, and division, so simple stuff. However, in Berlin, I knew it after I studied my courses, is that everyone, they don't care what studying, major field you're studying in, everyone took a advanced math course, Calculus 2. I don't know if you guys know anything about it. It's more advanced mathematics courses aimed for engineering students in UST right now. And so the finance courses we were taught actually had a lot of advanced math incorporated in it. And so this was something that I was not prepared for and was very difficult for me at first when I initially studied for the exam. And so this thing is one thing I want to tell you guys is when you guys pick exchange experience, if you want to join a university or a country you would like to go exchange for in the future, it's best you understand what kind of courses and the difficulty of these courses before going there. As if you were able to communicate with some of the exchange students coming to UST from that university, you would be able to know these experiences. And there is this opportunity, as I think 2 weeks ago, there was a global career fair at HKUST. So exchange students from all over the world come together and held affairs. And so they would introduce their own university to us, and we would be able to know what kind of options we had when we go to exchange. And that's the opportunity you can learn more about the exchange experience that you might go to. And practical skills-wise, I think HKUST did a bit better as our classes had covered a lot of industry practices. For example, how we use Excel modeling and how we actually present, which is not so much in Europe as they're more traditional. They focus more on academia when they teach. So for my internship experiences, I had, on the left side, I went to HSBC, same as Andy, but I was at HSBC Live, and so my job was operations. Do you guys know what operations does? Basically, it's the middle and back office, where we actually do supporting for the front office for the sales, and so my job was to do forecast and also customer data analysis, which was a bit more of a data thing. And I won't talk much about HSBC as Andy has covered much of it. And on the right side is, I went to Backup Communications, Bocom, in a fintech company. And you guys recognize where this is? Shanghai, right? Shanghai. Yes, I went to Shanghai Bocom Fintech and had my summer internship there last semester. It was just a couple of weeks ago. I went there. And actually, I think the biggest difference about working in Hong Kong versus working in abroad on the mainland, for example, I think the cultural difference is one big thing when you think about working abroad. So I think some of the students, some of my friends, they actually plan on studying abroad after, for example, their master's abroad, and they will work there after they graduate. So I do recommend you, if you have this in mind, you should try internships in places other than Hong Kong, as it actually exposes you to the challenges that you would never think about when you live and actually work abroad. Is, for example, how people communicate. So in Hong Kong, everybody uses English or Cantonese when you work. But in mainland, as you can expect, it's Mandarin. However, it's not the Chinese. They use Chinese, right? We all use Chinese. But the Chinese is different. In Hong Kong, the wordings, the terms, even in Chinese, is different than the terms they use in China. So I think that's one of the things that you can think about. It could, it's more difficult for me to integrate into the work environment when we work in a foreign place. And so I do recommend you guys, if you have the opportunity to actually work abroad, do a bit of internship abroad if you are interested. And so also an interesting thing is that my office is in one of the buildings here. Now, the game is you can try guess which building I'm working in. Now I had 4 options, okay? Okay, so can you guys see the 4 options? The first one is the thingy, the tall thingy with the ball thing. And then the second one is the building with the hole in the middle. And then the third one is is the one on the right side, the small one, and the fourth one is the tallest building. Okay, can you guys guess? Who guessed it's number 1? Anyone? Okay, number 2, anyone guess number 2? Okay, a couple of hands. Number 3? Also a couple of hands. Number 4? Ah, a lot of people. Now let's get this over with it. The answer is number 3. And the solutions are as follows. The first one is the television tower. So it's actually not the place where you expect office work to be done in. The second one is the Shanghai World Financial Center. Unfortunately, it's not where I work. And the third one is the Oriental Financial Center. Actually, it's not the BOCOM office in Shanghai, as there is actually a building called BOCOM office. However, as I was in the subsidiary company of BOCOM, it's actually located up close next to it in another building. So it's the Oriental Financial Center. And the last one is Shanghai Tower. And so I hope you guys did enjoy my short sharing, and hope you guys can enjoy your life at UST if you will be joining us. Thank you.
Sorry that we are a little bit overrun. We cannot do Q&A at this point. But if you have about admission like A-level, IB, or any kind of admission criteria, please talk to the staff at the ground floor of LSK building. Okay? So if you want to talk about